SpearNation Radio. I'm Chandler Morrison, your host for the morning. Lady Indians, they are about to take on Union County for an 11:30 a.m. matchup on a Wednesday. Yesterday they lost 12-2 to Lexington, and they always get that draw of Lexington coming into the tournament. And as many, they got Lexington 3 times in as many appearances from 2014 until now. Union County High School is the opponent today, and they are out of Maynardville, Tennessee, up around Knoxville. The Patriots, and 26-14 was the record coming into the state tournament. 4 state tournament appearances. The last was in 2016, so they've had about a 5 to 6 year drought since they've appeared in the tournament. 4-8 record in the state tournament. Union County, yesterday they lost to Red Bank 6-2 on the same field that Sequatchie County lost to Lexington. And this morning they take place, this game does, on StarPlex number 2. And we've got a great matchup here, and it's a very, very young team there. I think this is a team in Union County that is going to have a lot of success going forward. Now, looking at the roster, they got one senior, and I think next year could be a year where they kind of step up and do what they're supposed to do. And very, very young roster and not a very tested roster, I should say. And of course, you could say that about Sequatchie County. The biggest tests they've gotten this year have been in the tournaments where they played AAA teams and some of the more elite teams like Gibbs in AA. And Gibbs is in this bracket in this tournament. They're the only loss they have to a team below 3A. That's Sequatchie County does. And they could very well face them if they win this game against Union County. I'm looking at it to make sure I got it right. They would have to face them later in the tournament. Excuse me. I was thinking about Greenbrier. They could face if they won this game. There's a lot of great teams in this tournament. You look around. Usually there's like 1 or 2, and it feels like to me there's 3 or 4 teams that could win this championship. One of those teams is Forest, who was the 2019 champion the last time that they had a championship for the TSSAA. The other time was the other 2 that I would consider would be Covington and Lexington. They're both just really, really good and just really great records, able to kind of just do what softball teams need to do to be successful. And I think what you're going to see is when you look at Sequatchie County and Lexington, when you look at what's going on between these, what's going on and how you kind of rank these teams and, they lost 12-2, they did this, they did that. Lexington has always been the tough draw in the first game because Lexington is always in the tournament and they're always there. They know it. They have it down to a science. Watching yesterday, one of the things that fascinated me about this team was that they had their pitcher was almost like their quarterback in the sense that, everybody had a bracelet on their arm, like a play bracelet, like you get, a wrist cheat sheet, to put on their arm, like you would do in like a quarterback would do. So they send a sign in, he looks at it, okay, that's what that means, all those things. And everyone on the team, at least in the infield, from what I could see, because I was right up on top of the field, had these, and the coach would just yell out a number like 345 or 404, and everybody on the field would know, 1, what pitch was coming, and 2, if they were trying to shift, if they were doing this, if they were to look out for the bunt or something like that, and they did a really, really great job of doing those kind of things. Defensively, they were very, very stout. There weren't a lot of, and I think part of that goes to Sequatchie County not being able to get a good hit off the pitcher yesterday. One of the things I noticed was, when she would throw that off-season pitch, she would throw the riser, the curveball, and then she would she had really good pitch selection, and she had really good positioning too. Like I want to throw a curveball into the bottom right corner. She could do that. And, they were getting contact on it. They were getting hits, and, they actually left about 5 or 6 bases, or runners stranded. And that could have made a big difference in the game, at least. I don't know that it would have, but it could have. And you just got to go into today's game, and you really, really have to step up and make sure that you're getting your bat on the ball and hitting. Get back in the groove hitting, get back in this, get back in that. You know, I remember talking to Coach Kelly Somerville back in 2014, which was the first appearance she made as a head coach at Sequatchie County. And I was a senior in high school at that point, and I was doing radio. And I still remember to this day, they had Lexington in the first round. I think it was like 17-0, 17-1, something like that was the final score. It was even worse than this one. And, you know, I go to talk to Kelly Somerville the next day after they win their loser bracket game. And she said, and I asked her, I said, so what was the difference? What was really the difference in what was really going on? And she said, well, you know, the TSSAA had us kind of do their routine kind of the way they wanted us to do it, and it knocked us all out of whack. And she said, I'm not saying we would have won that game if we'd have been in our routine, but it knocked us all out of whack. And so that's the first time we'd been there. All the nervousness, all the, you know, stuff that goes on with that, and all the anxiety and everything. Plus, you know, we're out of our element because we're starting the day and we're starting all this without really anything of any kind of similarity. And when you get to sports like baseball and softball, it comes down to routine and it comes down to familiarity. And one of the things I've really noticed with the state tournament, experience is really, really key. And so I say that to say this, that Lexington had the experience. They're here every year. They're right there in the thick of it. You know, Sequatchie County, you know, they've been 2 years in a row, but that's not a whole ton of experience. You know, you've got freshmen on that Lexington team that, you know, they were freshmen, you have seniors on Lexington, they were freshmen going to the state tournament, so they know the routine. They know how this is supposed to go. They know how these first games do and how they don't and all these other things. And I think for Sequatchie County, they are like they're a rebound team. They're a bounce back team, and I've seen that several times, you know, in this season and what they're able to do and all these kind of things. And I remember the Upperman game last week where they were playing in the region championship, and they weren't playing from behind, but Upperman got within one score, and then they scored like 5 or 6, and then Upperman got within one score at the end of the game, and it was tied. And I mean, like, so tied, the tension was just like, you know, all over. And we're going to cut our pregame show short, getting a little bit earlier start. I guess these teams were ready to go at it after the game before this. That was a Greenbrier win, 14-13, 3 hour and 5 minute run time was that game. You know, I was here at about 10:15 this morning, and we're just now getting started with this game I came here to do. So we're going to get right into the thick of things here as Callie Green in the circle for the Lady Indians. Up first for Union County, by the way, Lady Indians will be the home team. They'll take the field first. Here comes the pitch from Green. It's going to be in there for a strike. And we got an 0-1 count to Macy Hutchinson, the junior. She's the left fielder for the Union County Patriots. Second pitch in there, it's going to be high and outside. We got a 1-1 count now to Hutchinson. Lady Indians in their got the purple jerseys with the white chest on them, and the black pants and purple socks, yellow bows in the hair as the ball comes in for Hutchinson. It's going to be a 2-1 count. Like the yellow trimming around the numbers on the back makes it easier to view. And Hutchinson's going to hit that ball down to third base, and it'll be a nice 5-3 out there from Farrell to Kelly. Same lineup as usual for the Lady Indians. Only difference is Grace Mitchell's taking the place of Kana Green in the DP spot. Everybody out in the field looks the same for Sequatchie County. It is the same as Blakely Hall, the junior for the Union County Patriots. She comes up to bat, and there's going to be a ball on her first pitch. She is the shortstop for the Patriots. Union County comes into today with a 26-15 record. Here comes pitch inside. That's going to be a ball there inside. They lost the game to Red Bank yesterday 6-2 out on McKnight. That was the game that got played right before the Sequatchie County-Lexington game yesterday. As Green comes in, it's going to be high and outside for ball number 3 to Hall. comes the pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike. And I'm having a hard time seeing that umpire down there. There's a little sign on the fence just in the way there. Blakely Hall, 0 for 3 in the tournament so far, and it's going to be ball number 4. And she's now 0 for 5 in the tournament, but she'll walk to first. And that'll bring up the senior, Caitlin Mays, the lone senior for the Union County Patriots. She's a left fielder. Or excuse me, no, that's the wrong one. She's number 7. Her position is 5. That is third base. What was that pitch? Ball. Here comes the second pitch from Green. It's going to be outside. And he's going to call it a strike. My eyes must be deceiving me just a hair, as we got a 1-1 count. Green with the pitch. It's going to be in there. It's going to be a strike swinging. We got a 1-2 count on Caitlin Mays, the senior for the Union County Patriots. It's going to be way outside, going to be a wild pitch, and she'll go to second. They won't catch her stealing. And so now we got a 2-2 count. Caitlin Mays 1-3 for the tournament with a single yesterday against Red Bank. And now Coach Somerville is going to take a trip out to the circle. Looks like she's going to talk to Green. Green looks like maybe kind of hard to tell what she's talking to her about. Maybe she's in some pain, maybe a cramp or some stretching going on. Not really sure. As Blakely Hall moves to second on the stolen base. Somerville will go back to the dugout. Green's going to kind of wipe her face off, put her face mask on. Dennis down at catcher going to kind of quarterback the team real quick. Let them know what's going on out there on the base paths. As Mays steps back into the batter's box, going to be 2-2. Going to be inside for a strike, and that is strikeout number 1 for Callie Green on the day. They've been riding Callie Green all season. I actually did some more math. She's had about 88% of the pitches this year for Sequatchie County have been pitched by her. And that's quite a load in all the games they played. That's going to be a strike right inside there. And that is to Michaela Cooper, the junior. She is the pitcher for the Patriots, the Lady Patriots. I guess they're the Lady Patriots. That's going to be another strike right there inside. And Callie Green is rolling today, and we'll see if this next pitch comes in and makes it strikeout number 2 for her. Here she comes a-rolling. It's going to be on that outside corner, but they got it. And that's strikeout number 2 for Callie Green today. And just like that, we're going to the bottom of the first. The Lady Indians, the home team, had a 5-3 play, a ground out, and then 2 strikeouts for Callie Green. And I believe that is for the tournament. Let me go back to yesterday real quick. 1, 2, 3. That's her 5th strikeout of the tournament. And I believe that's her 157th of the year. As Union County will take the field, we'll flip the scorebook because I forget to do that from time to time. And like I said, no changes to the positions out there, but the lineup changes as Grace Mitchell will come in for Kana Green in the DP spot. That's the last one in the lineup, number 9. And it's going to be Ella Edgman, Addie Edgman, and Jessica Dennis, the first 3 up for the Lady Indians. Sequatchie County 30-8 this season, and of those 8 losses, only 1 came against a AA opponent. this season until yesterday when they lost to Lexington 12-0. All those other losses came from AAA teams this season in the tournaments, as we talked about in the pregame show. And now Covington will get ready. Or excuse me, I'm thinking about the last game. We don't want to even think about that last game. We'll tell you some stories about that last game later on this broadcast, but we're on to Union County. We got delayed probably about 2 hours there on that one. And Ella Edgman's going to step up in the circle for Union County is Michaela Cooper, the junior. And that first pitch is going to be I believe it's a ball on that. Was that a ball on that side? A strike down the middle. So I turned to strike out. Oh, yeah, strike down the middle. Yeah. Strike on the outside, so I was pretty close to being a ball. And Edgman's going to swing and foul it off up to the fence behind her over here to the left, or actually in front of her. And now we got an 0-2 count brewing on Edgman. Edgman 1 for 3 in the tournament with a single and one single, 1 run scored yesterday against Lexington. What was that one? Was a ball on that side. It's going to be outside pitch, a ball, and here comes the next one. Another outside pitch. That one was in the batter box opposite of her. Edgman, before coming in this tournament, was batting .612, 52 RBIs, 19 doubles, 2 triples, and 10 home runs to boot for Edgman. She's going to foul that off, and it's going to hit the fence a little closer to the Indian dugout. Indians on the third base dugout, Union City on the first base dugout. From what I can tell in the bracket, the bottom of the bracket will be in the third base dugout. So they're at the very, very bottom of the bracket. So they would be on the third base dugout the rest of the tournament, however far they go. And she's going to foul it off down the third base line, and that'll go down into the grass. And we still got a 2-2 count brewing for her. Edgman with a .659 on-base percentage this season, and when she does get on base, she tends to get some extra bases in there for good measure. She's 43 for 45 on stolen bases this year. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line, and they'll call that one foul, and still a 2-2 count on Edgman. I want to thank Mountain Valley Bank for sponsoring the broadcast today. Member FDIC, 3 locations, 17114 Rankin Avenue, 6884. And we want to thank y'all for joining us here for this game. I apologize. We apparently the system tried to pull yesterday's game into the feed, and I have no idea how that happened. And what did we just have happen on the field right there? As a East. Okay. All right. So that's going to be pop up to 6. That would be the shortstop, and that'll retire the side. No runs scored yet for Sequatchie County. And sorry about that technical difficulty. The system, I'm having to control a system back in Dunlap from my computer remotely. And so issues are bound to happen as it tried to play yesterday's game instead of today's game. I didn't refresh the page. So we want to thank y'all for joining in. And please feel free to comment, and we'll shout you out during this game. By the way, just to show you what's going on one play, both the Edgman sisters were put out on some ground outs there, back and forth. They caught them on first and second. And Jessica Dennis was put out by a ground out to shortstop. Or was that pop up to short. And so that will bring up Gibbs County to bat here in just a second. Still our score is 0-0. What's that? Green will be in the circle. She'll toe the rubber for this one. Okay. And she'll warm up out there. Two umpires out there looking on from the outfield, one down here by the batter's box. Dennis now in there. They had Kana Green warming her up. Now Dennis will be down there and warming her up as they continue on with this game. We're going to the bottom of the first, still scoreless. Sequatchie County 3 and out in that first top of the inning. They are the away team. The home team is Gibbs. And here comes Gibbs up to the plate. The Eagles, the Lady Eagles. Shelby Blake, the shortstop for the Lady Eagles. She'll step into the box. Green, juggle the ball around in her hand, spin it around. Here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be in there and just outside for ball number 1. Beautiful day. Wind going from, it looks like west to east a little bit, kind of dwindling up toward the north now. Here comes the pitch from Green in there, and it's going to be hit by Blake. It's going to go to Hall, and she's going to throw it to Faith Kelly on first, and that will be a ground out to, that would be 4. Sorry, I'm still getting my numbers adjusted there. What was that pitch right there? It was a ball. It's going to be a ball there to Dakota Large, the second batter in the lineup for the Lady Eagles. Here comes the pitch from Green. It's going to be, that one foul off her bat on an attempted bunt there, or it just high in the zone there, so I couldn't get a good look at that one. And we got a 2-0 count to Large. Here comes the pitch from Green. It's going to be in there. It's going to be inside, and he's going to call that a strike there late. I had to call that one a ball. I don't know what he was waiting on that one. But Large now with a 2-1 count for the Gibbs Lady Eagles. Here comes the pitch from Green. It's going to be slapped him and fouled off down the right side over back to the fence. And now we got a 2-2 count. .82 degrees here in Murfreesboro today, so not as hot as it could be, but still pretty warm out there. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be just outside. She's going to swing at it. It's going to be fouled off down to the first base dugout where Gibbs is. Kelly will go over there and grab that ball into foul territory, throw it over to Green, and we'll get things back to a softball game. Here comes the pitch from Green. In there, and it's going to be just outside missing. That was a very, very pretty pitch, as we got a full count here. This is an elimination game, so the loser of this one goes home. The winner keeps playing today. As the next pitch comes in, it's going to be inside. It's going to be a ball number 4, and she'll get to first on a walk. Dakota Large will. And if they win this game right now, if they win this game that we're playing right now, they will play at 4 o'clock today. So we'll turn right around and play the next game on this field if they do win. The loser of this game will go home. It's going to be hit. It's going to be a slow roller to second. They won't get there. Kelly came to get it, and Hall came to get it at the same time. No one was on first. So Bumgardner goes to first, and that will be a single in there, no error. And Large will go to second on the play. That one was just an oddly hit ball. It was kind of popped up a little bit, fell about halfway between first and home, and then it just kind of kept rolling toward Hall, and Hall and Kelly both came to get it, and just no one was on first to try to throw the ball over there. And that's going to be in there for a strike to Gracie Palmer, the 4th batter in the lineup. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be swung at and missed for strike number 2. 1 out, 2 on for the Lady Eagles. And in the bottom of the first, still scoreless here. Green trying to keep them scoreless. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the first base line. It's going to go right between Kelly and Hall. They'll throw it home, and it won't get there in time. And that was a throw from Gracie Turner, and a run scores for Gibbs. Bumgardner will go to third on that one. Palmer on second. And that will go down as a double. A single. Oh, she got, okay, gotcha. She got there on that throw, and that will give a 1-0 score. Gibbs now ahead. Pitch from Green. This is to Emma Keck, and she'll foul it off back behind her for strike number 1. 2 on, 1 out. And we got a 1-0 score. Gibbs ahead after the single it turned into that was stretched into a double on the throw. That ball's going to be hit foul down the third base line, and 2 runners in scoring position are Bumgardner and Palmer. Keck with a 0-2 count. Green's going to look back over toward the outfield, take a second, take a breather. Now she's going to step back up and toe the rubber. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be down low and outside for ball number 1. And we got a 1-2 count to Keck. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there and thrown down the third base line. And they'll call it fair. It went right over third base. And that will score 2 there. They'll score Bumgardner and Palmer. And just like that, 3-0 is the lead for Gibbs. And that will be a double, correct? Okay. It'll be a single. And she will error to second base. She'll get to second base on the error, I should say. It didn't go out of play, did it? No, they got it. Okay. I can't see down there past that foul territory down the third base line, but what's our count right now? 1-0 is the count. Comes in there. That'll be a strike there. So we got a 1-1 count now to Addison Merritt. She's the first baseman for the Lady Eagles. She'll swing and hit one foul down the third baseline. 1 on and 1 out still for the Lady Eagles. Lady Indians trying to hold and keep as much damage from coming in as possible here in this first inning. Here comes Green with the pitch. It's going to be high up in the zone. It's going to be a ball. And we have a 2-2 count. 2-2 count there after the foul ball earlier. Here comes the pitch from Green. It's going to be outside, and now we're full up. Keck sitting on second. She got there on a single and an error. Here comes the pitch from Green. It's going to be in there for a strike, and that'll be strike number 3 and strikeout number 1 on the day for Callie Green. Now 2 outs, 1 on, 3-0 the score. Gibbs up. And we'll make sure everybody can hear us right now. I think the sound got fixed. I think someone tried to call me on my phone, and I can't get it to stop. As that ball's hit into – what's that? It go – oh, catcher threw it away. Sorry, I had to fix some technical issues. I'm trying to pay attention to the game as much as I can. Okay. If there's any issue with the sound, let me know. We're trying to make sure everything's going well. Everything should be going smoothly today. I don't know. We had that issue earlier, but we're trying to get things going. I'm trying to pay attention to 2 or 3 things at once. And our count right now is 1-1 to Bridget Scully, the designated player for the Lady Eagles. It's going to be in there and be low for ball number 2. And they'll throw it back over there. Keck ended up over at third on a bad throw from the catcher, correct? From Dennis. And that'll be in there for a ball there. Ball and low in the zone. I promise next inning we'll be doing a lot better once I get all these distractions out of the way. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a swing and a miss there by Scully, and now we've got a full count. Pretty pitch there by Callie Green. Here comes the pitch from her. It's going to be hit. Looks like it's going to be fouled off over. Yeah, it's going to be fouled off out of play. Down on the first base side. It's going to hit the ground over here between the fields. And we still got a full count of Bruin for Scully. Again, Gibbs won that game earlier this season in a tournament 9-6. Callie Green did not pitch that game, so they'd not seen Callie Green until today. That ball is going to be high, and it's going to be a ball. And she's going to get to first on a walk. And now 2 on, 2 outs for the Lady Eagles. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We want to thank our sponsor, Mountain Valley Bank, member FDIC. You can find them at all 3 of their locations, one on Rankin Avenue at Highway 28 South, and then out at Mont Eagle on 25 Dixie Lee Avenue. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike. And what a play from Dennis as they'll get Scully at second on an attempted stolen base, and she will be thrown out. And that's just another one of those things that Jessica Dennis can do behind the plate is throw them out at second. Not a lot of them get by her. I believe she has a pretty high caught stealing percentage this year. This season, not including the state tournament, she has a .562 percentage caught stealing. She caught 9 of 16 this season. So great matchup for her. And that will unfortunately put the Lady Indians down 3-0 as they start the top of the second. And it's going to be rough trying to get out of this one unscathed. And it will be a tough day for the Lady Indians. They'll have to play, if they were to want to get to the state, just to get to the state championship game, they would have to win 2 today and then 1 tomorrow morning at 9. And then if they wanted to win the state championship, they would have to win 2 more, as there would be an if necessary game. So it's going to be a long road for a state championship today, if they this week, if they want to get there. Megan Hall will be up next, followed by Callie Green and Alexis Farrell. And I apologize. I've apparently, since I've been doing radio since the Upperman game, I have been calling her name wrong. It is not Farrell, it is Farrell, and I apologize to whoever I have upset with that one, because I had a few people come at me and tell me I messed that one up. So here we go to the top of the second inning. They're going to warm up the pitcher here. I thought she's about to throw it down. Apparently she is not. And, that was just a fantastic play by Jessica Dennis, throwing it down to second. Catcher, it was a diving, trying to dive in there was the runner for Gibbs, Scully. And they'll meet down there around the mound, the circle, and they'll all go back to their respective positions. Buckner still in the circle for Lady Eagles as Megan Hall steps in to the batter's box. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line. They'll call that one foul, and I'm not sure about that one. That one was a close one. As to quote one of the other radio announcers in the booth yesterday, I don't usually insert my opinion, but that'll be a foul ball for strike number 1. She's going to step out and take a few practice swings. Now she'll step in. She is 0 for 6 in this tournament. She usually bats about .496. That's going to be in there and going to be a ball to her. 1-1 is the count. Hall step out and swing again. Getting set. She'll step back in. Calls for time to the umpire. Now she'll put it down. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be swung at and missed for strike number 2. Hall with 11 home runs this season. She is second on the team in the amount of home runs she's hit this season. And by the way, the Lady Indians, as of yesterday, 61 home runs total this season as a team. Swung at and missed, and that's going to be strikeout number 1 for Buckner. Strikeout number 2 for Buckner. She had one earlier. I had some confusion on myself on what happened in that first inning, and apparently there was a strikeout, and they threw down and caught Edgman at second. It was not too ground. I had to look away for a second, and a lot can happen in a softball game when you look away for 2 seconds. That pitch is going to be in there for a strike, and we've got an 0-1 count to Callie Green. One of 3 seniors on the team, along with Edgman and Dennis. Here comes the pitch from her. It's going to be hit down the third base line, popped up, and it's going to go out of play, and it's actually going to bounce over and hit the fence on the Division II field over here, where they're still playing some ball games. Here comes the pitch from Buckner. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be low for ball number 2. So now we got a 1-2 count. Green will step out. Now she steps back in. She'll get in position. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit right past the pitcher. And shortstop for Gibbs, Shelby Blake, she'll dive for it, and she won't get it. And that will put Callie Green on first base. And I assume they'll put a courtesy runner in for her. And they will. Courtesy runner for her today will be Grace Mitchell. Grace Mitchell was in the starting lineup yesterday. They took her out and replaced her back with Kana Green. And so Mitchell will be the courtesy runner, I guess, today for Green. So now we got 1 on, 1 out. It's going to be fouled off there by Alexis Farrell. Again, I mispronounced that name, and no one caught me for about 2 or 3 games, and finally y'all caught me yesterday and told me I was wrong, which is no surprise. I'm wrong about 50% of the time. I think most people are. And so Farrell up to the plate. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a strike, so now we got an 0-2 count to her after the foul ball and the strike right down the pipe. Farrell, step back in, step out, step back in, excuse me. Here comes the pitch. She's going to hit it. It's going to go down the third base line. It's going to go foul, and that could have been a really, really bad play for Sequatchie County, a really, really good play for Bumgardner, the third baseman, as she dove, and that ball just out of reach for her. I think it actually went in her glove and fell out as she jumped into the coach's box trying to get that one. And so we got a 0-2 count to Farrell. Farrell 1 for 4 in this tournament, got a single yesterday. She's going to hit it down the third base line again, a little bit farther out, so not a diving attempt there for Bumgardner down on third base. Farrell batting .422 on the season before the state tournament. She was had 28 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 2 home runs this season. 1 on, 1 out. 3-0 the score, Gibbs County ahead, and that's going to be a ball coming in to Farrell. Abby Buckner with 2 strikeouts on the day. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be fouled down the third base line again. Farrell locking that third base line, trying to hit all of them down their left side over there. Buckner going to regroup. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit into right field, and it will be in the glove of Taylor Shelby, the right fielder for Gibbs, and that will be a fly out to right field. And that's 2 outs, 1 on for the Lady Indians. Mitchell, who is a courtesy runner for Green, still on first. She did not advance on that one. Not enough time to tag up and get to second. That brings up Girdley to the plate, the junior for the Lady Indians. She's the left fielder, and she's going to take the first pitch, and it's going to be a ball on the outside. I think you got to score here in this inning right here to kind of stay in this ballgame. I'm not saying the ballgame can get away from you, but you definitely don't want Gibbs going in with some momentum into this third inning, And that ball is going to be up above her head over to the right side, closer to her, and that's going to be ball number 2 to Girdley. Beautiful day in Murfreesboro for some softball. Had some rain yesterday, but it came and went, and the fields look even better than they did yesterday. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there. She's going to swing at that one, and it's going to be strike number 1. Gurley's going to step out, take some practice swings. Kind of adjust herself in the box. Here she comes with the pitch. That's Buckner with the pitch. It's going to be hit and fouled right back at the fence, right over the umpire's head. And now we got a 2-2 count for Gurley. Gurley's going to step out, step back in, take some practice swings. Gracie Turner over in the on-deck circle as Gurley fouls that one off. Gurley hitting .402 this season. She's 2 for 6 in the tournament with a double, a home run, and 2 RBIs in the tournament. And she had 22 RBIs this season, 9 doubles, and 2 home runs. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there. They'll call that a ball, and that was a close one there. And I'm not going to argue with that one because my team is on the receiving end of that one. But you can kind of catch my drift if you really listen really hard. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high, and it's going to be a ball, and she'll get to base on a walk, and that's going to advance Mitchell over to second. By the way, Gurley hit her, I believe it was her 3rd home run of the season just yesterday, and what a time to hit your 3rd home run of the season than in the state tournament as they played Union County in a 10-0 win yesterday. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be just outside, and ball number 1 to Turner. Turner, the 8th spot in the lineup, the right fielder for the Lady Indians. Buckner with the pitch. It's going to be fouled back to the fence, and it's going to be a 1-1 count to Turner. Turner, 2 for 6 in this tournament, 2 singles and an RBI. She's done surprisingly well and getting some good base hits and extra base hits as well. She had 4 doubles on the season, 18 RBIs, and batted .376 on the season as she fouls one up into the fence, or excuse me, into the netting over here. And that's going to be a 1-2 count to her. She'll step out, step back in. She sits really, really far back in the batter's box. I noticed that Tuesday night as they were playing Lexington up on McKnight. And she's going to hit down the third base line. It's going to go foul and go right past the feet of head coach Kelly Somerville, who is the third base coach, by the way. And the head coach, of course, for the Lady Indians. So now we got a 2-2 count for Turner. 2 outs, 2 on for the Lady Indians. And we got a 3-0 lead by Gibbs right now. It's going to be in there. It's going to be hit. It's going to be a low ball, and she's going to make it to first. And that was just a weirdly hit ball. It kind of popped up right between the pitcher and the catcher. The pitcher, Buckner, kind of mishandled that one there. And now we've got bases loaded as Gurley advances to second, Mitchell advances to third, and Turner will advance to first. And I guess if she beat the throw on that one, would that go down as a single? Yes, it will. No error there, although she did mishandle the ball there trying to grab it. And what a throw there, or what a run there by Turner. She is pretty speedy for that late in the lineup. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to be a ball on the outside to Kana Green. And she is a freshman for the Lady Indians, the younger sister of the pitcher and senior, Callie Green. Nice to see the two sisters getting to play at least 1 year together in high school, as one a freshman, one a senior, and that's going to be a strike right down the pipe for Green. Green going to step into the box. Settle herself. Here comes the pitch from Buckner. It's going to be a swing and a miss. And we got a 1-2 count to Green. Bases loaded. You don't want to go and leave anybody stranded this inning. And I think that if you could get a pretty good hit here, you might get a by the way, Kana Green has hit a home run this season, just one, but she has hit a home run this season. So we'll see what she does. She fouls that one up into the netting behind her. And we've got a 1-2 count still brewing for her. She'll step out, look at Coach Veal. And then she'll take a few practice swings, resettle herself. Here she comes with the pitch. Buckner. It's going to be hit down the first base line, right to the first baseman, and an unfortunate placement of that one, as that's going to be a ground out to first. And that will retire the side. The Lady Indians leave 3 stranded in Mitchell, Girdley, and Turner as Green grounds out to first base. And that will end the inning here. And just unfortunate here in the top of the second that the Lady Indians leave 3 stranded. You can't afford in the state tournament to leave many runners stranded, if at all. You got to get them off the base path and over home plate. Of the teams in the state tournament here, we got I think we have the teams from Chattanooga were Sequatchie County, Red Bank, Sell Creek, GPS, and Baylor. Nobody in the AAA division for the Chattanooga area. Soddy Daisy was the closest. I think they ended up losing in the region, maybe the region semifinal or the sectional. I don't have that right now. But they did not make it to the state tournament, so no one representing Chattanooga in the the AAA tournament. Both AA teams still alive. Sequatchie County and Red Bank still alive. Red Bank won their game 5-4 over Greenbrier. In case you didn't get to hear that, y'all may have not been listening at that point, but they won 5-4 over Greenbrier in the game right before this, and so the Lady Indians win. They would play Red Bank at 4 o'clock. Sell Creek out of the tournament after a loss this morning in the losers bracket of the Class A championship, and I believe GPS playing over here on this field beside us. I don't have a score on that one, but we'll update you here soon. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit straight to Megan Hall, and what a grab by Hall, and that's Madison Watts. She'll line out to Hall, and that's the second baseman. That would be number 4. I'm sorry, I'm doing my stat book here. Was that the first pitch for her? And that was on the first pitch. I didn't think I missed a pitch, but you never know. I'm pretty easily distracted up here. So now one pitch, one down as Green pitches one to her. This one's going to be popped up to Selby. Yeah, Selby. Or it's going to be popped up by Selby, over to, I believe that was the left fielder, and that was Girdley. And so that's a fly out to 7. Which would be our left fielder. So in as many pitches, as many outs, 2. That's what we have so far. And Green comes with the next pitch. It's going to be high and a ball. I believe we're back to the top of the lineup here, and that's going to be Shelby Blake. And we got a ball to her, a 1-0 count, and that 1-0 count's going to turn into a ground out straight back to Callie Green. 4 pitches, 3 outs. What a good inning. 1 pitch away from just being what do they call it? An immaculate inning there. And 4 pitches, 3 down. That is what you get when you put Callie Green in the circle, and she is feeling herself today. And that would be a ground out. That would be a ground out to 1, correct? I believe that's what 1-3. Ground out 1-3. So that brings us to the bottom of the second, and it just feels like we just left the Lady Indians stranded out there on the base path, and here we are again talking to them again. Apparently some action going over there on the single A field, and I'm sure y'all heard more of that than I did. And Gibbs will get right out there. It didn't look like I'm sure the pitcher was kind of sitting there for Gibbs. Buckner, she was probably like, why are we out here already? The catcher may even took part of her gear off already as they walked out there and having to put it right back on to get back out here and get warmed up. And the next 3 up, and I barely got my score sheet out ready to go before we had to flip it back over. So we'll go back to I did flip it over. I was on the right side. I just don't know what I'm doing half the time. This is wonderful radio for y'all listening at home. I hope y'all are enjoying the madness in between innings. And I hope you want to give your business to Mountain Valley Bank, member FDIC. They have 3 locations, one on Rankin Avenue, one at Highway 28 South. That's down there by the school system, and one out in Mont Eagle, 25 Dixie Lee Avenue out there. We want to thank them for sponsoring the broadcast during this state tournament. They have been a wonderful sponsor, wonderful advertiser, and we hope that you'll give them your business. And so we will come back to the top of the lineup as Green was the last out there. We'll be right back at Ella Edgman, who hit a single and then was thrown out by the catcher Madison Watts for Gibbs at second on the end of a strikeout for Edgman. the younger Edgman, Addie Edgman, I should say. So here we are, the bottom of the third. Ella Edgman in the box. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit, and it's going to be fouled up into the net. That's going to be strike one to her. Buckner's going to regroup herself in the circle. Second pitch coming to Edgman. It's going to be hit. It's going to be right over the shortstop, and that's going to be a base hit right there. And they'll hold her up at first. And a single for Edgman. 1-1, or she's 1 for 2, excuse me, in the turn in this game now. And she has a single. 1 on, no outs for the Lady Indians. A good spot to be in as they get rolling. And Edgman, Addie Edgman, who leads the team in home runs, I believe, 16 on the season. She's going to hit one up, and it's going to be the left center field. I think it'll be a pop-up, and it will be. And that's going to be a fly out to seventh, left field. And she get a little bit more. I think she got little bit of a different angle on that ball. That one would have been out of there, but just hit the bat wrong there and ended up popping it up. And so now we got 1 on, 1 out for the Lady Indians. Dennis comes up to the plate. Dennis 1 for 5 in this tournament, a single, an RBI, and a stolen base. She's going to hit one out to center, and that'll be a fly out to 8. Again, Gibbs up 3-0 in this one. Lady Indians yet to score as we go into the top of the third right now. And 2 outs, 1 on. And Megan Hall comes up to the plate. She's 0 for 7 in this tournament now as she struck out her last time up. She'll step into the box. Here comes the pitcher, Buckner. A pitch from the pitcher, Buckner, excuse me. And that'll be a ball on the outside. Lady Indians left 3 stranded the last inning, and that could have been really, really helpful to have a hit there at the end to get maybe at least 1 or 2 of them across the plate. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down to the shortstop. She's going to mishandle it. Well, that will go down as an error. That will go down as an error, and Hall will get to first on an error. Edgman over to second on that same error, and now 2 on, 2 outs for the Lady Indians. Mishandled there by the shortstop, Shelby Blake, for Gibbs. Buckner regrouping. Here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be swung out and missed by Callie Green, the pitcher, and that's going to be strike number 1. Be a really, really great time. I hope I could be as prophetic in this game as I was in that Greenbrier-Covington game yesterday. It'd be a really, really good time for a home run over the fence as Green watches that ball on the outside, and it's going to be a ball number 1, a 1-1 count to her as she watches that one go through the opposite batter box of her. 2 on, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit. It's going to be hit into right field. No, it's going to be hit in just inside the right field, and it's going to be popped up, and the second baseman, Emma Keck, will run over and grab that one, and that's going to be a pop out to 4, I believe. And so 3 up, or it's going to be now it's going to be retired to the side. Excuse me, not 3 up, 3 down. The Lady Indians leave 2 stranded. They've left 5 stranded this game so far, and that is going to be a killer. The more you leave them stranded, they're getting the contact on the ball. They're hitting the ball. They're just not hitting it where they want to. And usually with the Lady Indians, that's where the kind of their bread and butter has been, to just hit that ball like Ella Edgman did at the beginning of this, beginning of this inning, just hitting it over the shortstop, getting it and getting that placement really, really well, and hitting it in the gaps, hitting it over the infielders, under the outfielders, and that's been really key to what they've been able to do this year. Just not able to do it today, and that's why you have 2 flyouts and a pop out there, just not getting contact on the ball, just not getting the exact kind of contact they want here in this one. And maybe we can try to do better the next inning and do 3 pitches this time instead of 4 to get those 3 outs, hopefully, for Callie Green. That's a high standard, but she put the bar up there last inning. I will say this, she was at the bottom of the lineup on that one, so not as impressive as it is, but still 3 outs on 4 pitches is pretty dang impressive for Callie Green. And by the way, she's at 162 in strikeouts this season. and a 29-5 record for her. 1-1 in this state tournament, trying to make it 2-1 and 30-5 for her overall record. Green delivers the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be low for ball one. That's to Dakota Large, the second one in the lineup. She is the left fielder for the Lady Eagles. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be bunted down the third base line. Farrell going to throw it to first. She's not going to get there in time. No, it's going to go past Farrell into right field, and they're just mishandling the ball all over the place right now, and that was just a bad throw there by Farrell. The ball goes from Farrell over to Kelly. Kelly, it goes over the head of Kelly, goes into right field. Turner throws it over to Hall at second, and it goes, and they miss it, and actually just kind of rolls in the outfield, and Large ends up at second, and she's held up at second, and that will be to second on an error. And so now 1 on, no outs for the Lady Eagles. It's going to be hit down to third base. Farrell bobbles the ball. Will she get her? Yes, she will, and that'll be a 5-3 out there. So 1 on, 1 out, and that will advance Dakota Large over to third on that one. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off there on an attempted bunt by Gracie Palmer. Fourth in the lineup. She is the center fielder for Gibbs. Green going to adjust her face mask. Going to step back onto the rubber. Here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be swung, thrown to Edgman. Edgman's going to throw it to third. No, she's going to hold on to the ball. And that, I don't know, that was kind of, I wouldn't say that was a mental error. I was thinking she was just trying to protect the run there. Yeah, that will be a fielder's choice, and she'll get there on that after all. But Large still on third. Palmer on first now. That could have been a throw to first and an out there at least, but now we have still 1 out and runners on the corners. And I understand trying to stop that runner from getting to home, but at some point you do need to get an out too. And I think you could throw it to first and maybe even attempt to get her at home with a hesitation there, but I'm not going to judge that call. I'm not on there on the field. I'm here to call the game, not make calls out on the field. So here we go, 1 out, 2 on for the Lady Eagles. Runners on the corners. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there. Jessica's going to throw it down to second. And it's going to be now we got a pickle down here between third and home. They're going to try to get this runner out. And they'll run and she's going to trip up and she's going to be tagged there. They'll throw it to third. Will they get her? She's going to be safe. And so they keep the runner from going to home. Dakota Large, she'll be out on a pickle play. I guess that's what you call it there. And no runs scored on that one, but a lot was happening. And great throws there made by the Lady Indians. That could have easily been a score or two if that ball is mishandled, but they did a fantastic job making sure that ball stayed in the glove and doing very, very good situational baseball or softball. Oh, man, I'm struggling today. And that was a ball. 1-1 is the count to Emma Keck. Green comes with the pitch. It's going to be in there. It's going to be low for ball number 2. And Gracie Palmer, by the way, sitting on third after all that mess that happened a while ago. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be right down the pipe for a strike. And we got a 2-2 count now to Keck. That's K-E-C-K. Hadn't seen that last name before. That's an interesting one. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line. They'll throw it over to first. She'll stretch out. She'll get it, and that will retire the side as we have another 5-3 after a runner thrown out, or after Large thrown out earlier between third and home. Take a breath. If you got some blood pressure medication, I would recommend taking it now because this one's going to be a long one, and it's probably going to bring the tension pretty high throughout this game. As no runner scored on that one, but my heart skipped a beat or two here late in that inning as I didn't know what was going to happen. Lady Indians will come back to the top, and it'll come back to the top of the fourth, and they will attempt to try to score a tie or maybe even get some runs on the board at least, as Farrell, Girdley, and Turner are the next three up as we get out of the heart of the lineup and start to go toward the bottom of it. We want to take this time to thank our sponsor, Mountain Valley Bank, member FDIC. You can find them at their three locations in the Sequatchie Valley, 17114 Rankin Avenue, 6884 Highway 28 South, and their location, both those locations are in Dunlap, and their location out in Mont Eagle is 25 Dixie Lee Avenue. We want to thank them for being a wonderful sponsor here for SpearNation Radio. The pitch. Oh, sorry, we're not even starting yet. I just looked up real quick. No batter in the batter's box. They're just warming up. Now they're going to meet out there, and now we've got Farrell coming up to the plate. And hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. If I'm not announcing it right this time, I don't know what I'm doing. Here at the TSSAA Class AA State Tournament, we're in the losers bracket, the second round. Sequatchie County trying to stay alive. They trail 3-0 in this one. Here comes the first pitch to Farrell. She's going to pop it up down the third base line. It's going to go out of play, and that's going to be strike number one on her with the foul ball. Got some great contact. Last time up, she flew out to right field, and so she's 0 for 1 in this game. That's going to be a ball on the outside for a 1-1 count. Coming into today, she was 1 for 4 with a single, and I believe that single was in yesterday's game. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit and fouled down the third base side. It's going to hit the fence before it gets to the dugout, and we've got a 1-2 count. She's going to take a step out, take a few practice swings, step back in, and now Buckner with the pitch. It's going to be hit right into that little sweet spot behind second base, behind the second baseman and in front of the center fielder. And Farrell, she has her second single of the tournament. This is the kind of placement that you want with those hits, and this is why you can never count Sequatchie County out, because when they start hitting the ball where they want to hit the ball, that's when they start having success, and that's what Farrell was doing on that at bat. Girdley in the box. Here comes the pitch. She's going to bunt, and it's going to foul off down the third base side, and it's going to hit the fence before it even gets to the on-deck circle. Speaking of the on-deck circle, Gracie Turner on deck for the Lady Indians. Buckner going to regroup. Juggle the ball around her hand. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be bunted, and it's going to be mishandled by the third baseman. That's Bumgarner. She ran over to get it, ran right past the ball, and it kept rolling. And the pitcher and the first baseman, Buckner and Merritt, couldn't get to it either. So now 2 on, no outs for the Lady Indians. And would that go down as an error? That will go down as a single. Just a mishandling of the ball there, and, you know, it just kept rolling past where anybody could get it, and just a miscue there for Bumgardner over on third base. 2 on, nobody out. Calm down. Here we go. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be bunted down the first base line, and they'll get her. There's going to be a foul ball there, and if that would have been fair, they would have gotten her in time. And that would have been out number 1, but nonetheless, we have a foul ball now, and we got a 0-1 count to Turner. Turner, with a base hit earlier in this game, she's 1 for 1 so far. And Turner, by the way, 2 for 6 in the tournament coming in today, 2 singles and an RBI for her. She's done pretty decent. I didn't expect to have this kind of production out of her in this tournament, and she's going to foul off another bunt for 0-2. I don't say that because I don't think she's a good player. I say that because she's, 8th in the lineup, and she's got some pretty good production in this state tournament for someone that's that late in the lineup. Maybe they're just underestimating her a little bit. The pitchers are and the defense is. 0-2 count. Turner's going to step in the back of the batter's box. It's going to be high over the head. It's going to be a pass ball for wild pitch, excuse me. And Girdley and Farrell will advance on a wild pitch. 2 on and runner in scoring position, excuse me. Turner with a 1-2 count. She has Turner's not hit a home run this season. What a time to hit your first one if you could. I don't know if that's going to happen, but no home runs this season for Turner. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high, and it's going to be a ball. I think she is more of a slap hitter anyway. She tends to get in the back of that box, kind of run forward and try to hit that ball down, get it to bounce around. And so she's not really a home run here. She's not hit one this season because she is a really, really good slap hitter trying to get that ball down on the ground. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit, and it's going to be fouled off into the fence over here behind me, or behind the umpire. And we got a 2-2 count still brewing for Turner. No outs, 2 on, and would be a good opportune time to get a base hit or two. Base hit or a double or something of that nature. Turner's going to step back. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high up above her head. And it's going to be ball number 3, and now we got a full count of coming. And Lady Indians in good position right now to try to get some runs on the board. With 2 in scoring position, 1 on second, 1 on third. That's Farrell and Girdley as the pitch comes in. It's going to be swung at and missed, and that's going to be a strikeout there for Turner. And that would have been a strikeout whether she swung at it or not. So that's going to bring up Kana Green, the younger of the Green sisters, the freshman. She's going to step out for a second and, take some practice swings. It's too early in the day for yawning, so I'm not going to do that. I was trying to hold off as much as I could. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be outside for ball number 1. Farrell on third, Girdley on second. Both of them got there on a base hit, a single. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there, and it's going to be inside for ball number 2. If you can hear that jet noise over there, that's one of the airplanes taking off over here at the Murfreesboro. I think it's the Murfreesboro Regional Airport right over here. And here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike. He had a little bit of delay on that. I thought it was a strike, and he had to take a second to think about that one, as it was a strike right down the pipe. A 2-1 count now to Kana Green. Here comes the pitch. Be swung at and missed for strike number 2. And we'll see what Green can do. Green in this tournament is 0 for 2, yet to get a base hit. I don't even think she's got she may have gotten on base on a walk in that Lexington game, I believe. I didn't write that down, so I'm not sure. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be popped up to the pitcher, and she'll get it, and that's going to be a pop-up to 1. And that'll be out number 1. And really, that probably should have been a pop-out to the catcher, but the pitcher almost running up to the plate to get that pop-up. So we'll call it a pop-up to the pitcher.
Out number 2, strikeout.
Oh, out number 2, excuse me. We did have a strikeout a while ago. I forgot about that. So now we got a 2 outs, 2 on for the Lady Indians in a precarious situation. You want to get some runs to score, but good news. You got to back to the top of your lineup, and Ella Edgman is up to bat. She's 1 and 2 in this game. She's going to hit one. And it's going to foul off down the third base side. It's going to land on the grass over here and bounce up and hit the AAA, outside of the AAA fence over here. And that's going to be a foul ball for her. I believe if she could get a hold of one, she could hit it over the fence right here, right now. Here comes the pitch, and it's going to hit her. She's not even going to get that opportunity. It's going to be a hit by pitch. And she'll go to first. And now all the ducks on the pond for Sequatchie County as we got a bases loaded situation. And that brings up Addie Edgman. Edgman 0 for 2 today, but she is 4 for 6 in this tournament coming into today with a single, a double, a triple, a home run, and 4 RBIs. And I tell you this, if all that happened, well, it didn't all happen in one game. She didn't hit for the cycle, but she cycled through herself in this tournament so far. Edgman, the younger, Addie, the younger of the Edgman sisters, she'll step into the box. Here comes the pitch from Buckner. It's going to be outside and in the batter's box opposite of Edgman. And we've got a 1-0 count. 2 outs, 2 on for the Lady Indians. Here comes the pitch from Buckner. It's going to be hit. It's going to be fouled off to nearly the same spot a while ago, and it's actually going to hit up against the dugout on the AAA side AAA field over here. And it's going to be a 1-1 count now to Edgman. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit to the third baseman. And that's going to be a line drive right to her. And that will be a line to 5. And that will end the inning. And now the Lady Indians have stranded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batters. Wait, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 batters in this game. No one scored yet. And you got to get those runners across home plate. Good news is only 3 runs have scored for Gibbs, and they have held them up in the last 2 innings after 3 runs in that first inning. Some great defensive work here, not only by Green pitching, but by Jessica Dennis and Farrell down on third. They have done an amazing job keeping these runners off of the home plate, and that may become crucial later in this game, because I don't know how many runs Sequatchie County is going to score as much as they're stranding base runners on out there in the lanes. So Green warming up for the Lady Indians. She is doing a fantastic job. She has one strikeout today for 162 on the season. Let's see if she can get 3 right off the bat here and send us back to an offensive half of the inning for Sequatchie County. Addison Merritt up to bat for Gibbs. She is the first baseman. And Green with the pitch. It's going to be there, and it's going to be just outside there for a ball. Dennis will look over for the sign. Now Green comes with the pitch. It's going to be hit at and swung at and fouled down the third base line. That if the Lady Indians go on to lose this game, the stat line of this game will be how many base runners they have stranded out there. As Green comes with a pitch, it's going to be just outside for ball number 2. Green's going to step back up to the rubber. Here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be in there. It's going to be hit to Edgman at short. She'll throw it over to first, and it'll be an out. And that'll be a 6-3 out from shortstop Ella Edgman to first baseman Faith Kelly. So now 1 out, nobody on for the Eagles. And here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line. It's going to be foul down the third base line. It'll kind of roll barely into the outfield there, and that'll be strike number 1 off the foul ball. Edgman kind of had to kneel down to get that one and dive a little bit to get that one earlier. She had to get up and kind of compose herself and barely got that throw in as ball number 1 comes in to Bridget Scully, the designated player for the Lady Eagles. Elimination game here at the state tournament. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be thrown. It's going to be hit down to Farrell. She'll throw it over to Kelly for the 5-3 out. And Farrell has been lights out at third base this year, and especially in this tournament, she has had a great game defensively. And a lot of balls hit to her and Edgman, and she has done a great job of fielding those balls and sending them over to Kelly. And great job at holding those runners up too. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be inside, and it's going to be a strike. And that won't be right down the pipe, but they'll call it a strike to Madison Watts. She is the catcher for the Lady Eagles. number 26. Last time up, she lined out to the second baseman, Hall. And that pitch was a ball, correct? So we have a ball now, 1-1 pitch. Green, here she comes. It's going to be high and a ball. And we're sitting at 2-1 now to Watts. Watts will step out, step back in. Ooh, sorry I had to let that yawn out on the radio. It's contagious, I know. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit down over to Edgman, getting on a knee to get it, and she'll have a 6-3 out there on the ground out over to Kelly. And Edgman really stepping up and just creating a wall there between Farrell and second base, trying to keep those balls in play and get them over to first. And she's been successful at that, so 3 up, 3 down for Lady Eagles. And now we go back over to the top of the 5th inning now. And time is running out for the Lady Indians. They have got to get some runs on the board and fast. And if last inning is any indication, they've done a great job at getting contact and getting players on base. They've just got to make sure those outs are not tripping them up to say. Because, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runners stranded in this one. Buckner getting ready to come out and pitch. They're still sitting in foul territory. They're waiting a second, talking amongst themselves. Dennis, Hall, and Green in the next 3 up for the Lady Indians. Man, I may need to go take a nap out in the truck between this one and our next game if we have another game.
I'm looking through your schedule, and at the bottom it says it's got.
I want to thank our sponsor, Mountain Valley Bank, for sponsoring this game and sponsoring this state tournament and the broadcast of this state tournament. Mountain Valley Bank, member FDIC, 3 locations, 17114 Rankin Avenue, 6884 Highway 28 South, and then their location out in Mont Eagle, 28 Dixie Lee Avenue. And we'll bring Dennis up to the plate. She is 0 for 2 today, and let's see, she is 1 for 7 in this tournament. She had a single in the last game, an RBI, and 1 stolen base against Union County. She'll come up. She had a pop-up to shortstop and then a fly out to center field. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be high, and it's going to be a ball there to her. And we got a 1-0 count of Bruin for Jessica Dennis. She'll step back into the box after looking to Coach Veal. Buckner with the pitch. It's going to be hit down the third base line. And it's foul for strike number 1 to Dennis. If you're Lady Indians, you got to get runners on base. You got to get runners on base, but more importantly, you got to get them across the plate. That is important. 8 runners stranded today, and I keep emphasizing that because that is a huge, huge number and what could determine this game. Dennis will hit it out of play down the first base side. It'll land over here on the sidewalk as people start walking in over here by the flagpoles where this one's at. And we got a 1-2 count for Dennis. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be inside and a ball. And a 2-2 count now, a Bruin for Dennis. Buckner will kind of swing her arm around, kind of get it rotated. And here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit straight to the shortstop. She'll mishandle it, but she'll get there in time. And she'll fly out, or not fly out, she'll ground out, to the shortstop, and that'll be a 6-3 out for her. 1 out, nobody on for the Lady Indians as Megan Hall comes up to the plate. And Megan Hall, she got to first on an error last time around and struck out in the second inning. And that doesn't count as a hit, so she is 0 for in this tournament. 0 for 8 in this tournament. But she did get on base today with an error. And that first pitch was a ball. Correct? Yes. And we got a 1-0 count coming down to Hall. The pitch, be in there, and it will be just outside. Down the count in favor of Hall. Got to get some food in me after this one. I don't know where I'm going to get that. I may go to a concession stand or hit up Chick-fil-A. Always a good option, Chick-fil-A. She's going to throw it. She's going to hit it down to third baseman. That'll be Bumgardner, and that'll be a 5-3 out for her. Time is running out as we're in the bottom of the fifth here. A 3-0 game here. Gibbs leads, and time is running out for the Lady Indians. They got 2 outs, nobody on, and that brings up Callie Green to hit. Here comes the pitch. He's going to hit it into right field. It's going to be deep, 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 but it'll be caught there by the right fielder. That's Taylor Selby, and that's the second fly out in that area for Green today. And that'll be 3 up, 3 down for the Lady Indians. And now they've only got 6 more outs that they will have to try to get 3 or more runs in this one. You got to feel for Callie Green. She gets a hold of that ball just a little bit more, gets a little bit better contact on that one, and that one's out of here. I mean, I believe Selby was about a step maybe from that fence back there if she wasn't up against it trying to catch that one. And that'll bring us to the bottom of the fifth as the next 3 up are going to be Selby, who we just talked about, Shelby Blake, and Dakota Large. Whew. I'm sorry if I'm making you tired out there, folks. I'm tired too. I'm good right now. Appreciate it. But Green in the circle for the Lady Indians, no surprise there. She has been in the circle all tournament. Not really a whole lot of depth behind her. I think Addie Edgman had the best record and best ERA out of the bunch. She's the only one on the team with an ERA of less than 8. So if that tells you anything, that tells you that she is the best pitcher on the team. I think she's got an ERA of 1.88. And, Girdley was the lowest ERA of everybody. She had an 8.08. Edgman had an 8.69 on the season. The first pitch is going to come in there, and that'll be a ball on the outside to Selby. Green will step back behind the circle. She'll take a breath, as will I with the yawn. And here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be hit into left field. Girdley misjudged it a little bit, but she gets back there and she takes care of business, and that's going to be a fly out to 7 left field. And that'll be out number 1 as we go to the top of the lineup. 1 out, nobody on. And a 3-0 lead for Gibbs. Sequatchie County yet to score in this one as we're here in the bottom of the 5th. They've let 8 runners stranded today, and that will be the tale of the tape for this one if they go on to lose. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there. It's going to be a ball low underneath the zone. And ball number 1. Pitch for Green. Going to be in there and going to be a strike. And they'll catch Blake looking. Shelby Blake looking. There's a Shelby and a Selby, and one of them's a first name, one of them's a last name. I get those two confused. She'll swing and miss on the second one as well. And now we got a 1-2 count to Blake. She'll step out, take a few practice swings, adjust herself, come back in. And here comes the pitch. She's going to hit it down the first base. Nope, she's going to hit it down the first base side. It'll go back to the fence. And Kelly will walk over, grab it, throw it over to Green. And she'll head back and trot over to first base. Green coming with a pitch. It's going to be in there. It's going to be hit down the third base side. Mishandled by Farrell. Won't get there in time as Edgman has to grab it. And that'll be a single, and then she'll get to second on error. No, it'll be an error completely. And she'll get to second on 2 errors. Oh, just the 1 error, excuse me. And that'll be 1 on for the Lady Eagles. She was a strike away from being out number 2. Now there's just 1 out and 1 on for the Lady Eagles. And they'll bunt that one down. Farrell will get it. She'll miss the throw down to Kelly, and that will score Blake. And she'll get to second on an error. And just some bad throws here by the Lady Indians in this inning. And it kind of looking again like that first inning where they were just not getting their throws down, especially over to first. That'll put Bree Bumgardner up to bat, the third one in the lineup. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit and fouled back up into the netting up above the fence. And that'll be a foul ball. 1 on, that's Dakota Large. She's sitting out at second all by her lonesome. Green recompose herself. He's going to put her toe to the rubber and the ball to the plate. It's going to be hit up, popped up, right past Edgman. They'll throw to third. They won't get her. And Large on third. And then Bumgardner with a single. That ball just fell in the right spot. That's what we're used to seeing from the Sequatchie County Lady Indians. And we're not seeing that right now. So 2 on. Runners on the corners, Bumgardner and Large. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be a bunt down the third base side. Farrell throw it to first. Throw it to home. They won't get her. And Large scores. Bumgardner to second. And Palmer is out on the that was the 5-3 play to her. They got her out. Farrell having to come almost down to home plate to grab that one. As she throws it over to first, and they do get the connect on that one, but not without some damage as Large scores on that play. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit straight to Megan Hall, right over the head of her. And Gracie, what a throw by Gracie Turner out in right field. The ball's to her, and she gets it, throws it to home, and Dennis catches Bumgardner at home. She is out on the throwdown. What a play by Dennis. Gibbs coach on third base. She's not happy with that, and then she's letting the umpire know it. And she clearly got her, though, before she got it, she beat her by a step down to home plate. And that's what you get when you have great outfielders like you do at Sequatchie County, and you have a great, fantastic catcher who can catch them coming from the outfield, and Jessica Dennis. Some damage done, 2-run score in that inning. Now a 5-0 game. Gibbs leads, and tough draw here for Lady Indians in the losers bracket. And just a rough game so far for the Lady Indians. A lot of errors in this one, and man, oh man, you hope they can get the bats a-rolling here in the 6th and 7th inning and get a lead there. They got a 5-run deficit they've got to overcome as we go to the top of the 6th. And the next 3 up are Farrell, Girdley, and Gracie Turner. And we're used to seeing those kind of throws from Addie Edgemount in center field, but Turner, golly, I can't express to you how great of a throw that was from deep right field and sent it in to Dennis, and what a catch and tag there by Dennis to end that inning and keep another run from scoring. 5-0 the score right now as we head to the bottom of the top of the sixth, excuse me. And some commotion going on the single A field over here behind me. Apparently an eighth grader solo walk-off home run in this game over here in the single A tournament. I'll figure out who those teams are and who won here in just a second. But what a call over there. Oh, keep them alive.
It ended the game. It kept them in the tournament.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it ended the game.
Yeah, walk-off into the game, kept them in the tournament as we're in the elimination games, as that was a ball to Farrell. Another ball to her. We got a 2-0 count, I believe, right now. Buckner with the pitch. It's going to be hit up, popped up, and this is just a tough hit right here. It's going to be popped up right to Emma Keck, the second baseman, and that's going to be pop up to 4, and that'll be out number 1. Farrell flew out to right field and got to first base on a single earlier in this game. Girdley 1 for 2. She walked she got walked to first in the second inning, and in the fourth she hit a single, and she'll take a ball there for the 1-0 count to her. Oh, was that a strike? Could not see the hand of the umpire, so she'll take a strike on that first one. She'll step back in there. Girdley will. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit, foul back up into the netting, and we got a 0-2 count now for Girdley. Well, thank you all for joining us today for this state tournament elimination game as Sequatchie County trying to stay alive. They trail 5-0 to Gibbs here in the top of the sixth. That ball is going to be outside and miss for ball number 1 to her, and we got a 1-2 count now to Girdley. Third in the state, tied for third in the state last time around, Sequatchie County was. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be swung at and missed, and that's going to be a strikeout to Girdley, and that's 2 up, 2 down for Gibbs. Gracie Turner comes up to bat, and first time around in 2014 that I covered them, they went and finished tied for 5th in the state. They lost this same game that they're playing right now. They lost that one to Greenville. As the pitch comes in, it's going to be in there for a strike, and we got an 0-1 count. 2019, they tied for third. I think they lost to Forest in that last game that they played. Here comes the pitch. It'll be over the head of Turner, and ball number 1 to her. A lot of great games over the years here for Sequatchie County here at StarPlex Field number 2. A lot of great games in general, but a lot of great games for Sequatchie County here at this state tournament. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be swung and hit down to the pitcher, and Gracie Turner is just one of those people that can put on a clinic of where to hit the ball and make it just hard enough for the fielder to get it, as she'll go over to first on a single. That brings up Kana Green to the plate. Kana Green yet to have a hit in this tournament, I believe. Yeah, 0 for 4 in this tournament. 0 for 2 Vince Lexington, and 0 for 2 today. What happened there? It looked like it hit her. Now Somerville's going to come down and talk to the umpire. Umpire's saying that she leaned in there. And Coach Veal and the umpires are going to have a discussion about it, and she is livid right now. Livid, absolutely livid. And she'll stop and talk to Green, and that'll be ball. We got a 1-0 count. 0-1. So that was a strike that came in. So he called it a strike, and so that was a strike. Apparently the ump says she leaned in. I don't know about that, but we'll keep on trucking and keep on rolling as she hits a foul ball, and so we got a 0-2 count now to Green. 2 outs, 1 on for the Lady Indians. 9th batter to get on base for the Lady Indians, it's Gracie Turner. She's got on twice in this game, both on a single. She's 2 for 3. Here comes the pitch to Green. It's going to be hit. It's going to be popped up to second base, and it's going to be an easy out there for Emma Keck. And that's just unfortunate there. Just the timing has not worked out for where they are in the lineup and what's been going on and who's on base and how many outs they have. It's just not timed up for the Lady Indians today, and that's really what's going on. Gibbs right now showing they are the better team currently as they have a lead of 5-0, and we'll have one more chance for the Lady Indians to score in the top of the 7th. Gibbs is the home team, so unless the Indians tie it up or take the lead, we won't play the bottom of the 7th at this point. We will play the bottom of the 6th, though, as Emma Keck and Addison Merritt and Bridget Scully, all three of them are up next in this inning. Here comes the pitch from Green on the warm-up. I'm the world's worst at that today. I've been doing that all tournament. I look up, I panic, and, yeah. Everybody else over here looking up, too. She really just throw a pitch? What's going on? But now they'll throw it down to second, and our next pitch will be a pitch that will actually count in this game. So we'll keep on a-trucking. And the umpire will clean that plate off. Gibbs made it a little dusty in this game with 5 runs coming across that plate. As Keck takes a few practice swings as we get set to start this bottom of the 6th inning. Green waiting for the umpire to get ready. What is that? That is not what's the number on the girl right there? 2. Merritt. Oh, Keck was on the – did Keck come up last time?
Yeah, 2's due up.
Okay, all right. So it's Merritt, Scully, and Watts are the next 3 up. Sorry, I messed up in my batter's box or my scores book. So it will be Merritt. Here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball. And Addison Merritt with a 1-0 count now. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be swung at. It's going to be hit over to Edgman. Edgman will go to first with it to Kelly. Kelly gets the out. She stretches out for that one. And that will be a 6-3 out there. Whew. A little tense here today. And hopefully Lady Indians can stomach trying to get this game in hand. And that's going to be just outside there for a miss. And it's going to be to Bridget Scully, the designated player for the Lady Eagles. Green with the pitch is going to be a strike on the inside corner there. And we got a 1-1 count. Pitch from Green. It's going to be hit over right between Farrell and Edgman. And, we've got a throw down to second, and it's missed. And Scully doesn't go to second. But basically the ball went between Farrell and Edgman. Girdley grabbed it, tried to throw it to second, missed the throw over to Hall. Hall had to go grab it, and they hold up Scully at first, and that'll be a single for her. And they got a pitch runner out there for Scully. Is that what they're going to do here? Has she already come out there? What's the number on her? I can't say the number. There is a pinch runner out there for Bridget School. When we get that number, we will let you know. So stay on the edge of your seat, folks, if you want to know who that is out there on first. I don't honestly think it matters, but we'll go with it. As Madison Watts up to bat, it's going to be in there for a ball. And we got a 1-0 count for her. 1 out, 1 on for the Lady Eagles. Madison Watts is the catcher for the Lady Eagles. Here comes the pitch. In there for a ball, low inside corner, but it is a ball nonetheless. And Green gets set up in the circle. Here she comes with the pitch. It's going to be hit straight to Edgman. Looked like it might be a bad hop there, but it wasn't. And they'll grab the double play on the that was a fantastic double play. That was the 6-4-3 double play there. And what a great job there by the Lady Indians defense. They've got one more inning to go here, and this could decide if they stay or they go home today in this TSSAA Class AA state tournament. Coach, all three coaches for Gibbs out here talking to the umpire. I'm not sure if it was about that call, if they're trying to make a sub maybe for the I think they've got the same pitcher in there. Buckner appears to be the same pitcher. I guess maybe they were trying to argue that call at first. It was a very, very tight game, but I think she got her by about a half a step. Oh, re-entering DP, that's probably what they were doing. If I was had any sense about me, that's probably the first thing I would have thought. Because they did have the DP, they did pinch run for her. So, 5-0 is the score. Gibbs, the leader in this game right now. Sequatchie County yet to score a run. They've stranded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, count them, 9 runners on base today. And that is not a great stat to have, especially in a state tournament game where you're trying to stay alive. They'll throw down on the warm-up. Good news, Ella Edgman, up to bat. She's the first batter in the lineup, and we're in the top of the 7th. And she is 1 for 3 today. She got the first on an error in the first inning, and then she was hit by a pitch in the 4th. She did get a single there in the 3rd. Buckner in the circle. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled off back to the fence, and it's going to be strike number 1. Edgman steps out, takes a little bit of a practice swing, moves the bat around. She'll step back in. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit, fouled up into the netting, and that's going to be strike number 2 for Edgman. I want to thank our sponsor, Mountain Valley Bank, member FDIC, 3 locations, one on Rankin Avenue, one on Highway 28 South. Both of those are in Dunlap, and one in Mont Eagle, 28 Dixie Lee Avenue. I want to thank them for being a fantastic sponsor through this state tournament. Edgman's going to hit one over third base, and it's going to be fair. She'll get to second. She'll make it in time. They'll call her safe, and she stretches that one in to a double. So now 1 on, no outs for the Lady Indians. Edgman will go to first, or Edgman will go to second on a double. Addie Edgman up to the plate for the Lady Indians. Addie, a left-handed batter. Pitch from Buckner. Did she swing at that one? So that's going to be a strike there for her. 0-1. Umpire will call time. They're going to call that a ball. She didn't go there, and he'll check with his umpire down on third base, and she'll say that he didn't, or he'll say she didn't go. But this next one's going to be in there, and that's going to be a ball as well. And so what was the 0-1 count is now a 2-0 count. You don't see that every day. Buckner with the pitch. It's going to be hit into left field, deep, 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 but it'll be caught by your left fielder out there, Dakota Large. And now 1 out there as the fly out to 7. Lady Indians struggling, 2 outs away from going home today if they don't score at least 5. Good news, 1 on out there on second. Dennis, she'll come up to the plate. She's 1 for 5 coming into today. And she is 0 for 3 today. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be hit into left field. Will it be caught? Yes, it will. Will they get her at second? Yes, they will. And that is the season for the Lady Indians. A fly out to center field. Was that center field there? Left field. A fly out to 7th for Dennis. And they'll catch Edgman not tagging up out there at second. And that's as tough as it gets for the Lady Indians. That is the end of the season and a tough, tough out today as they play Gibbs and they lose 5-0 to a team they lost 9-6 to earlier this season. What a tough, tough game for the Lady Indians. Hate to see the season end like that. Hate to go home early on a Thursday, but making it to Thursday and making it this far in the tournament, an accomplishment in itself. I believe they end up tied for 5th in the state. What a game. What a game, and just could not get any runners across the plate for Sequatchie County. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runners stranded on base. And if you got, and man, if you take half those runners and put them across home plate, it's a tie ball game right now. That is a crazy stat to think about. Just not enough in the tank for Sequatchie County. They end their season very, very late in the season, I will say, but they come out of the state tournament late. They lost to Lexington 12-2 earlier in this tournament. Their first game they won yesterday against Union County 10-0, and tough outing for them as they lose to Gibbs. 5-0 the final score. I want to thank our sponsor, Mountain Valley Bank, for sponsoring our broadcast in this tournament. Mountain Valley Bank, member FDIC, 3 locations, one at 17114 Rankin Avenue, one at 6884 Highway 28 South, and then a location out in Mont Eagle, 28 Dixie Lee Avenue. I want to thank y'all for joining us for this state tournament and for this game today. I want to thank y'all for being there for the Lady Indians. I know it's a tough loss today, but they've done a miraculous job and a great job this season. Callie Green ends her record for the season. 29-6 is her overall record. I believe it's 162 strikeouts is what she has on the season. Yes, 162 strikeouts is what she finishes the season with. And golly, just a tough, tough game for these Lady Indians. I want to thank y'all for joining us. And from the borough, so long. I'm Chandler Morrison for SpearNation Radio. We're going to sign off. Go Indians and God bless. And maybe we'll see you for next season for some sport somewhere in Dunlap, Tennessee. We'll see you later.